Taurus, I need to sit down with you right now because what came through in this reading is something you absolutely need to hear. I was shuffling my deck this morning, and the energy that came through was so intense, so specific, that I knew I had to get this message to you immediately. Before we dive into the cards, I want you to take a deep breath. What we're about to uncover together involves someone who has been working against you in ways you might not have fully realized yet. There's a woman in your energetic field who has been carrying some seriously heavy intentions toward you. And the cards are revealing not just her actions, but also something physical that's been affecting your well-being and your relationships. I'm going to walk you through exactly what the universe is showing me. And trust me, by the end of this reading, you're going to have complete clarity on what's been happening and what you need to do about it. So let's get into this. The first card that came out when I asked about your current situation is the High Priestess, and this card appeared in such an interesting position. When the High Priestess shows up right at the beginning like this, she's telling us that there are hidden truths that need to come to light. This isn't about surface-level drama or obvious conflict. This is about secrets, about things happening behind closed doors, about intuition that you've been feeling but maybe haven't fully trusted yet. The High Priestess is that voice inside you that's been whispering that something isn't quite right. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and you can sense that people were just talking about you? Or when someone smiles at your face, but you feel this cold energy coming from them? That's what the High Priestess is validating for you right now. Your intuition has been spot on, Taurus. Those gut feelings you've been having about this particular woman, those moments when something she said didn't quite add up, those times when you felt uneasy around certain objects or in certain spaces, your inner knowing has been trying to protect you. What's fascinating about the High Priestess in this position is that she sits between the pillars of light and darkness, between the conscious and subconscious realms. She's revealing that this situation with this woman operates on multiple levels. There's what's happening in the physical world that you can see, and then there's this whole other layer of energetic manipulation that's been occurring beneath the surface. This woman has been very careful, very calculated in how she's approached her intentions toward you. She hasn't been obvious about it because she knows that if she were, you'd spot it immediately and shut it down. The High Priestess is also connected to the moon, to cycles, to feminine energy, and to mystery. This tells me that this woman has been using subtle methods to try to influence your life. We're not talking about someone who confronts you directly or causes obvious problems. This is someone who works in the shadows, who might smile to your face while holding very different feelings in her heart. She understands timing, she understands energy, and she's been patient in her approach. But here's the thing, Taurus. The High Priestess doesn't just reveal secrets, she also protects the person she appears for. Your own intuitive abilities are stronger than whatever she's been trying to do. Your spiritual protection is activated whether you've been consciously working with it or not. I pulled a clarifier on this because the energy felt so specific, and here's where things get really interesting. The High Priestess is showing me that you need to start paying attention to your dreams and your intuitive hits over the next few weeks. You might receive information through unexpected channels, through sudden knowing, through symbols that appear in your daily life. The universe is turning up the volume on your psychic receivers right now because you need to see the full picture of what's been happening. Don't dismiss those random thoughts that pop into your head about this situation. Don't ignore the synchronicities that are about to start showing up. The High Priestess is your ally here, and she's making sure you have access to all the hidden information you need to protect yourself and move forward. Now, when I asked the cards to show me more about this woman and her intentions, the Two of Pentacles came through, and this is where we start to see her character and her motivations more clearly. The Two of Pentacles is all about juggling, about trying to balance multiple things at once, about someone who's constantly in motion, constantly managing different aspects of their life, and here's the key, often struggling to keep it all together. This woman is not coming from a place of strength or abundance. The Two of Pentacles reveals that she's actually in a state of imbalance in her own life. She's dealing with her own struggles, her own lack, her own feelings of inadequacy, and instead of doing her own inner work, to address these issues, she's decided to focus her attention on you. This is classic projection, Taurus. She sees something in you, something you have or something you represent, that highlights what she feels is missing in her own life. The Two of Pentacles shows someone who's trying to maintain a facade. She's juggling her public persona with her private intentions. She might present herself as having it all together, as being successful or happy or balanced, but underneath that performance, she's barely keeping her head above water. And here's what's really important for you to understand. Her targeting of you comes from this place of internal chaos. You represent something she wants, but feels she cannot have. Maybe it's your stability. Maybe it's a relationship you have that she envies. Maybe it's your peace of mind or your success, or simply the fact that you seem content with your life. Whatever it is, she's fixated on it. What the Two of Pentacles is also revealing is that she's been trying to create imbalance in your life because she exists in a state of imbalance herself. Misery loves company, as they say, and this woman has been attempting to disrupt your equilibrium. She might have been doing this through gossip, through subtle manipulations, through introducing chaos into situations that were previously stable for you. The Two of Pentacles can also indicate someone who's two-faced, who shows one side to you and another side when you're not around. But here's what I find really significant about this card in this position. The person juggling the pentacles in the traditional imagery is always just one wrong move away from dropping everything. Her position is precarious. She's not operating from solid ground. Everything she's been trying to do against you is built on a shaky foundation, and that foundation is about to crumble. The Two of Pentacles is warning her, though she doesn't know it yet, that you cannot maintain deception and manipulation indefinitely. Eventually, the juggling act fails, and everything comes crashing down. That moment is approaching for her, and when it does, the truth of her actions and intentions is going to be undeniable. The next card I pulled, and this one made my heart rate pick up a bit because it's so specific, is the Five of Cups. This card is showing me exactly what's at the core of this woman's feelings and motivations toward you. The Five of Cups is one of the saddest cards in the tarot deck. It depicts someone standing in front of 3 spilled cups, mourning what's been lost, while 2 full cups stand behind them, unnoticed and ignored. This woman is drowning in her own grief, disappointment, and regret. The Five of Cups reveals that she's someone who's experienced loss or failure in a significant area of her life. And instead of healing from it, instead of processing those emotions in healthy ways, she's become bitter and resentful. She's stuck in a cycle of focusing on what went wrong, on what she doesn't have, on what she believes was taken from her, or that she deserved but didn't receive. And here's the painful truth that the Five of Cups is exposing. She's projected all of this onto you. In her mind, you represent what she lost or what she never had. Maybe there's a relationship dynamic here. Maybe she had feelings for someone who chose you instead. Or maybe she simply sees you living a life that she wished was hers. The Five of Cups shows that her actions toward you are driven by deep emotional pain, but that does not excuse what she's been doing. Hurt people, but understanding someone's pain doesn't mean you have to accept being the target of their destructive behavior. What really concerns me about the Five of Cups in this reading is that it shows someone who's so consumed by negative emotions that they're willing to try to bring others down to their level. She's not thinking clearly, she's not acting rationally, she's operating from a wounded place that has made her capable of things she might not normally do. This is important for you to understand, Taurus, because it means you're not dealing with someone who's going to respond to reason or kindness or attempts to make peace. You're dealing with someone who's emotionally compromised and who has decided that causing you pain or problems will somehow make her feel better about her own situation. The Five of Cups also connects to the element of water, to emotions, to the subconscious realm. This reinforces what the High Priestess already told us. This woman has been working on an emotional and energetic level to try to affect you. She's been sending negative energy your way, whether consciously through practices she's engaged in or unconsciously through the sheer intensity of her resentful thoughts and feelings toward you. Either way, That energy has been reaching you, and the cards are about to show us exactly how it's been manifesting in your life. One more thing about the Five of Cups before we move on. Notice that the figure in the card has their back turned to the two cups that are still standing, still full, still available. This woman is so focused on you, so obsessed with what she perceives you have that she wants, that she's completely blind to the blessings and opportunities in her own life. If she would just turn around and see those two full cups, she could start healing and building something positive for herself. But she won't. She's chosen to stay in that position of mourning and resentment, and that choice is going to have consequences for her that we'll see as we continue through this reading. Now we need to talk about something physical, something tangible, because the cards are being very insistent about this. The Hierophant appeared when I asked about the mechanisms through which this woman's negative intentions have been reaching you. And this is a fascinating card to see in this position because the Hierophant is usually about tradition, structure, religious or spiritual systems, teaching, and established ways of doing things. What the Hierophant is revealing is that there is an object involved in this situation, something physical, something that exists in your space or that has existed in your space. The Hierophant represents material things that carry symbolic or spiritual significance. And in this context, the card is pointing directly at something that has been functioning as a conduit for negative energy. This could be a gift that this woman gave you. It could be something she touched or held. It could be an object that came into your possession through her directly or indirectly. The Hierophant is showing me that this item carries her energy signature, and not in a good way. When someone with negative intentions toward you handles an object, especially if they do so while holding strong negative emotions or with deliberate harmful intent, that object becomes charged with that energy. Now, Taurus, I want you to think back. Has this woman given you anything? A piece of jewelry, a decorative item, a book, clothing, anything at all? Has she been in your home and particularly drawn to or complimentary about any specific object? The Hierophant is suggesting that there's something in your environment that's been acting like a beacon for her negative energy, like an antenna that's been receiving and amplifying her ill intentions toward you. What's really important about the Hierophant in this reading is that this card also represents the power to bless and consecrate, but in reverse energy, it can represent the opposite, the act of cursing or charging something with harmful intent. I'm not saying this woman is necessarily some kind of practiced witch or occultist, although she might have dabbled in things she doesn't fully understand. What I am saying is that intention is powerful, and objects can hold and transmit energy, especially when someone with strong negative emotions has focused their attention on those objects. The Hierophant is giving you a clear action step here. You need to identify this object and remove it from your space. You need to clear your environment of anything that came from her or that might be connected to her energy. This isn't about being paranoid. This is about energetic hygiene. You wouldn't keep rotting food in your kitchen, right? Well, you shouldn't keep objects that have been tainted with someone's malicious intentions in your personal space either. When you identify what this object might be, and trust your intuition here because you'll likely feel a sense of recognition or unease when you think of the right item, you need to remove it immediately. Don't give it back to her because that creates another energetic connection. Don't donate it where someone else might be affected. The best approach is to physically destroy it if possible, or to dispose of it far from your home with a clear intention that you're releasing all connection to the person and energy it represents. Bury it, throw it in running water, or simply discard it in a dumpster that's not on your property. As you do this, you can say something simple like, I release all negative energy and harmful intentions sent my way. This object and all it represents no longer has any power in my life. After you've removed the object, and this is crucial, you need to cleanse your space. The Hierophant also represents purification rituals and spiritual practices. You can do this in whatever way aligns with your beliefs. Smoke cleanse with sage or Palo Santo, if that resonates with you. Use sound, like bells or singing bowls. Sprinkle salt water, open all your windows, and let fresh air and sunlight fill every room. As you do this, Set the intention that your space is cleared of all negative energy and that only positive, loving vibrations are welcome in your home. Let's talk about how this has been affecting you personally, because when I pulled a card for this, Temperance showed up, and this is such a significant card for understanding what you've been experiencing. Temperance is all about balance, harmony, health, and the proper mixing or blending of different elements to create something beneficial. When Temperance appears in a reading about how you've been impacted, it's showing me that your balance has been disrupted. You've been feeling off, haven't you, Taurus? Maybe you haven't been able to put your finger on exactly what's wrong, but something has felt out of alignment. Temperance being affected in your reading suggests that your physical health, your emotional equilibrium, your sense of peace, some or all of these have been compromised. Have you been feeling more tired than usual? Have you been getting sick more easily? Have you noticed your mood swings are more extreme or that you're more reactive than is typical for you? These are all signs that your internal balance has been thrown off. What's particularly relevant about Temperance in this context is that this card is ruled by Sagittarius and represents the process of healing and alchemy, of turning something harmful into something beneficial. The disruption of Temperance in your life means that your natural healing processes, both physical and emotional, have been hampered. It's like your immune system, both literal and energetic, has been under constant attack, making it harder for you to maintain your usual state of well-being. Temperance also represents relationships and the give and take required for healthy connections with others. The fact that this card appeared when asking about how you've been affected tells me that your relationships have also suffered due to this woman's interference. This could be your romantic relationship if you're in one, your friendships, even your relationship with yourself. That cursed object we talked about, that energetic link she's been maintaining, it's been creating discord and imbalance in how you connect with others. You might have noticed that you and a partner have been arguing more about things that wouldn't normally cause conflict. You might have felt more suspicious or insecure in your connections with people. You might have had misunderstandings that seemed to come out of nowhere. This is all the disruption of Temperance energy, and it's been directly caused by the negative energy being directed at you and channeled through that object in your space. But here's the good news, and there is good news. Temperance is also showing me the path to restoration. This card is about healing, about finding your center again, about restoring the natural flow of positive energy in your life. Once you remove that object and cleanse your space like we talked about, you're going to start feeling this Temperance energy return to its proper state. Your balance will restore itself. Your health will improve. Your relationships will smooth out. The discordant energy that's been plaguing you will dissipate, and you'll wonder how you didn't see it sooner. I want to emphasize something really important here. The fact that Temperance appeared in this reading at all is a sign that you have the capacity to heal from this. You're not permanently damaged by what's been happening. Think of it like recovering from a virus. Yes, you've been sick. Yes, it's been affecting you, but your body and spirit know how to return to health once the source of the illness is removed. That's what Temperance promises you. Complete restoration once you take the necessary steps to protect yourself and clear your environment. Now, when I asked the cards about this woman's awareness of what she's been doing and the consequences she's facing, the Ace of Wands appeared, and I found this really interesting. The Ace of Wands represents new beginnings, creative energy, passion, and inspired action. It's the spark that starts the fire. In this context, it's showing me that there's about to be a new development in this situation, a turning point that's going to change everything. The Ace of Wands suggests that the truth is about to come to light in a way that cannot be ignored or denied. There's going to be a moment of revelation, a spark of awareness that exposes what's been happening. This might come through someone else bringing information to your attention. It might come through your own sudden realization where everything clicks into place and makes sense. It might even come through this woman making a mistake that reveals her true nature and intentions to others, not just to you. What I find particularly powerful about the Ace of Wands here is that this card represents divine inspiration and spiritual fire. The truth coming out isn't going to be a slow, gradual process. It's going to be sudden, clear, and undeniable. One moment you might still have some doubts or questions, and the next moment, boom, everything becomes crystal clear. The Ace of Wands doesn't mess around. When this card brings new beginnings, it does so with force and clarity. The Ace of Wands also represents taking action, and this is important for you to understand, Taurus. This card is telling you that once you have that moment of clarity, once everything is revealed to you completely, you're going to feel inspired and empowered to take immediate action. You're not going to hesitate or second-guess yourself. You're going to know exactly what needs to be done, and you're going to have the courage and energy to do it. Whether that's cutting this person out of your life completely, protecting yourself legally if necessary, or simply setting firm boundaries that cannot be crossed, the Ace of Wands is giving you the fire you need to take decisive action. There's also something really poetic about the Ace of Wands appearing in a reading about someone trying to harm you, because fire, which is the element of wands, is both destructive and purifying. The same fire that can burn down a forest also clears the way for new growth. This woman tried to bring destruction into your life, but the Ace of Wands is showing that the fire energy is actually going to work in your favor, burning away all the negativity she tried to attach to you and clearing the space for incredible new beginnings to emerge in your life. I want to talk about your relationship specifically now, because whether you're currently in a relationship or have been recently, the cards are showing that this has been a major target of this woman's negative intentions. The Queen of Pentacles appeared when I asked about the impact on your romantic connections, and this is such an interesting card because the Queen of Pentacles is you, Taurus. Pentacles is the earth suit, and Taurus is an earth sign. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who's nurturing, stable, practical, successful, and grounded. The appearance of this card is showing me that this woman has specifically been targeting your relationship or your romantic life because she's jealous of the Queen of Pentacles energy you embody. You have something she wants, or you represent a kind of secure, stable, abundant love that she feels she's been denied. The Queen of Pentacles is also associated with domestic happiness, with creating a warm home, with being a good partner. If you're in a relationship, she's been deliberately trying to create problems between you and your partner. If you're single, she might have been working to block new love from entering your life. What's really insidious about this is that the Queen of Pentacles energy is naturally attractive. People are drawn to the warmth, stability, and genuine care that this queen offers. This woman has seen how others respond to you, how you naturally create harmonious relationships, how you're able to build something real and lasting with people, and her own inability to do the same has driven her to try to sabotage your ability to do it. The object we talked about earlier, the one the Hierophant revealed, has likely been placed or given to you with the specific intention of disrupting your romantic life. Objects can be charged with very specific intentions, and the combination of the Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles is telling me that this item was meant to create distance between you and a partner, to cause arguments, to make you doubt your relationship, or to make your partner doubt you. If you've been noticing more conflict, more misunderstandings, more emotional distance in your romantic relationship, especially if these problems seem to appear or intensify around the time this object came into your space, this is not coincidental. But here's what this woman didn't count on. The Queen of Pentacles is one of the strongest, most resilient queens in the entire tarot deck. Earth energy is not easily shaken. It might take you a while to identify a problem, but once you do, you're thorough and effective in addressing it. The Queen of Pentacles is showing me that you have everything you need to overcome this interference and not only restore your relationship to health, but actually make it stronger than it was before this attack began. For those of you who are single, the Queen of Pentacles is bringing a beautiful message. Once you remove that cursed object and clear the negative energy from your space and your life, your natural magnetism is going to return at full strength. You're going to find that people are drawn to you again in ways that feel easy and natural. The block that's been preventing healthy love from reaching you is going to dissolve, and you're going to be amazed at how quickly your romantic situation can shift once this woman's interference is removed from the equation. Now we need to talk about the Two of Swords, because this card appeared when I asked about the decisions you need to make moving forward. The Two of Swords traditionally shows a blindfolded figure holding two swords crossed over their chest, sitting in front of water that may be calm or turbulent depending on the deck. This card represents being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice, and often indicates that you've been avoiding a decision because both options seem difficult. In the context of this reading, the Two of Swords is showing me that you've been aware on some level that something was wrong, but you haven't wanted to fully acknowledge it or deal with it. Maybe you've been telling yourself you're being paranoid. Maybe you've been making excuses for this woman's behavior or trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you've noticed the changes in your health and relationships, but attributed them to other causes, because accepting the truth of what's really been happening feels too overwhelming or too confrontational. The Two of Swords is about removing the blindfold, Taurus. It's about being willing to see the truth clearly, even when that truth is uncomfortable. You can't make an effective decision when you're refusing to look at all the information available to you. This card is calling you to drop any remaining denial or wishful thinking and to face this situation with eyes wide open. What's the decision you need to make? The Two of Swords is showing me that you need to decide how completely you're going to cut this woman out of your life. Are you going to make a clean, total break, or are you going to try to maintain some kind of surface-level connection out of social obligation or to avoid awkwardness in your social circle? The cards are being very clear that half measures are not going to be effective here. This is not someone you can safely keep in your life in any capacity. The Two of Swords also represents the need to trust your logic and your intuition working together. Your logical mind might try to tell you that you're overreacting, that it's not that serious, that you should be the bigger person and forgive. But your intuition, that high priestess energy we talked about at the beginning, is telling you that this woman is dangerous to your well-being and that protecting yourself requires firm boundaries. The Two of Swords is asking you to honor both of these sources of information and to recognize that in this case, they're actually in agreement. Both your logical assessment of the situation and your gut feeling are telling you the same thing. This person needs to be completely removed from your sphere of influence. Once you remove the blindfold, once you make the decision to protect yourself fully and completely, the Two of Swords promises that the mental conflict and confusion you've been experiencing will lift. You'll feel a sense of clarity and peace that's been missing for however long this woman has been focusing her negative energy on you. The inner turmoil, the second guessing, the mental exhaustion of trying to figure out what's real and what's not, all of that will resolve itself once you commit to the decision that you know in your heart is right. The Six of Cups appeared next, and this card really helps us understand why this woman has targeted you specifically and why she's been so persistent in her attempts to harm you. The Six of Cups is the card of nostalgia, of the past, of memories, of childhood, of innocence, and of emotional connections that have deep roots. In a positive context, this card represents happy memories and meaningful connections from the past. But in this reading, it's showing me something much more complex. This woman is stuck in the past. The Six of Cups reveals that she's holding on to something that happened before, some situation or relationship or dynamic that she can't let go of. Maybe you were part of her past in some way. Maybe you remind her of someone from her past who hurt her. Or maybe you represent something she had in the past that she lost and hasn't been able to recreate or replace. The Six of Cups can indicate someone who's emotionally immature, someone who hasn't grown beyond wounds that should have healed long ago. This card shows me that this woman has been comparing her present to an idealized past or comparing her life to your life and coming up wanting. She's fixated on what she believes she deserves or what she thinks was taken from her, and she's decided that you're somehow responsible for her disappointment, even if that makes no logical sense. What's really telling about the Six of Cups in this position is that it reveals her actions are rooted in regression, not progression. She's not moving forward in her life. She's not doing the work to heal her wounds and create the future she wants. Instead, she's looking backward, dwelling on what was or what could have been. and she's lashing out at you because in her distorted perception, you represent everything she's lost or everything she can't have. The Six of Cups also has connections to childhood patterns and family dynamics. This makes me wonder if this woman learned this kind of behavior from her family of origin, if she grew up around people who used manipulation, gossip, or even darker practices to try to control or harm others. Hurt people, and the Six of Cups suggests that she's operating from wounds that go very deep, probably all the way back to her early experiences. But here's what's important for you to understand, Taurus. Her woundedness, as sad as it might be, is not your responsibility. You are not obligated to be understanding or compassionate towards someone who's actively trying to harm you. You can acknowledge that she's operating from a place of pain while still firmly protecting yourself from her toxic behavior. The Six of Cups might explain why she's doing what she's doing, but it doesn't excuse it, and it doesn't mean you need to tolerate it. The Six of Cups is also showing me that there might be other people in your shared social circle or community who are aware that this woman has issues. She might have a pattern of this kind of behavior. She might have targeted other people before you. The Six of Cups can represent shared history and mutual connections. So don't be surprised if, once you start talking about what you've experienced, other people come forward with their own stories about this woman. You are not alone in having been targeted by her, and there's strength and validation in recognizing that her problem behavior is a pattern, not something specific to you. Now we're reaching the part of this reading where we see the consequences this woman is going to face for what she's done, and let me tell you, the universe does not take kindly to people who deliberately try to harm others. The Ace of Cups appeared when I asked about the energetic and karmic repercussions heading her way. And at first glance, you might think the Ace of Cups is a positive card. After all, it represents new emotional beginnings, love, spiritual awakening, and divine blessings. But here's what the Ace of Cups is really showing us in this context. This card represents an overflowing cup. And when it appears in relation to karma and consequences, it's showing me that whatever energy this woman has been putting out into the world is about to come back to her in overwhelming measure. She's been pouring out negativity, resentment, jealousy, and harmful intentions. The Ace of Cups promises that she's about to experience the return of all that energy, but magnified. There's a spiritual principle that whatever you send out returns to you multiplied. If you send love, you receive love multiplied. If you send harm, you receive harm multiplied. The Ace of Cups appearing here is the universe's promise that this woman is about to be flooded with the consequences of her own actions. The cup is overflowing, and she's going to be drowning in the results of the negativity she's been spreading. The Ace of Cups also represents emotional truth and the opening of the heart. For this woman, that's going to mean being forced to face the truth of what she's become, what she's done, and who she really is beneath the masks she shows to the world. That's going to be devastating for her because she's been lying to herself about her own nature and intentions. The Ace of Cups is going to strip away all those illusions and force her to see herself clearly, and that clear vision is going to be painful. For you, the Ace of Cups brings a completely different message. While she's experiencing the overflow of negative karma, you're being promised that the cup of blessings is about to overflow in your life. The love, happiness, and emotional fulfillment that she tried to block or poison is going to come flooding into your experience. Your relationships are going to deepen and improve. New love might enter your life if you're single. Existing love is going to become more profound and satisfying. The Ace of Cups is the universe's way of saying that you're not just going to recover from what she did, you're going to thrive. What this woman tried to take from you is going to be returned to you tenfold. What she tried to damage is going to be healed and strengthened. The Ace of Cups is divine compensation, and you're going to receive it in abundance. Every tear you cried, every moment of confusion or pain, every instance of imbalance in your health or relationships, all of it is being recorded by the universe. And the Ace of Cups is the promise that you will be restored and compensated beyond what you lost. The final card in this reading is the Queen of Pentacles again, but this time she appeared in the position representing your future, your outcome, where you're headed after all of this resolves. And can I just say, seeing this card here filled me with such happiness for you, because the Queen of Pentacles in the outcome position is one of the best possible cards you could receive. This queen represents the fullest expression of stability, abundance, nurturing energy, and groundedness. She's successful, but not flashy about it. She's loving, but not needy. She's strong, but not harsh. She creates beauty and comfort in her environment. She's the kind of person others feel safe around, the kind of person who makes things grow, whether that's plants, relationships, careers, or dreams. The Queen of Pentacles in your future is showing me that you're not just going to survive this attack on your well-being. You're going to emerge from it more powerfully yourself than you've ever been. Everything this woman tried to destroy or damage is actually going to become stronger. Your relationships are going to reach new levels of depth and trust. Your sense of self is going to be unshakable. Your boundaries are going to be crystal clear and firmly maintained. Your ability to spot inauthentic people and toxic energy is going to be finely tuned. The Queen of Pentacles also represents material abundance and success. Whatever this woman was trying to block in terms of your prosperity and opportunities is going to break free and flow to you. You might see improvements in your financial situation, new career opportunities, or the manifestation of goals you've been working toward. The energy that was being drained by this woman's attacks is going to be freed up and redirected toward building the life you actually want. What I love most about the Queen of Pentacles in this position is that she's showing you sitting in your power, comfortable in your own skin, surrounded by the beauty you've created, connected to people who genuinely love and respect you. This is your birthright, Taurus, and no one's jealousy or manipulation can keep you from it permanently. They might delay it, they might try to poison it, but ultimately, you're going to claim this queen energy fully. The Queen of Pentacles is also telling me that you're going to use this experience to help others in the future. Once you've healed and moved through this, you're going to be able to recognize when other people are dealing with similar attacks or energetic interference, and you're going to be able to guide them with the wisdom you've gained. Your pain is going to become your purpose in some way. This woman thought she was destroying you, but she was actually initiating you into a deeper level of spiritual protection and awareness. So let's bring this all together, Taurus, because you came to this reading looking for answers, and I want to make sure you leave here with absolute clarity on what you need to do. Here's what the cards have revealed. There is a woman in your life who has been harboring intense negative feelings toward you, rooted in her own pain, jealousy, and inability to create the life she wants for herself. She's been directing harmful energy your way, and she's used a physical object as a conduit for that negative energy. This object, whether it's a gift from her or something she touched or something that came into your possession through her influence, has been disrupting your energetic field. It's been affecting your health, throwing off your natural balance, creating problems in your relationships, and generally making you feel off in ways you probably couldn't quite explain. Your intuition has been trying to alert you to this, giving you feelings of unease or suspicion, and now you know that those feelings were completely valid. The good news, and there is good news, is that you have all the power you need to end this interference immediately. You need to identify that object and remove it from your space completely. Remove it far from your home, destroy it if possible, and then cleanse your entire living space with intention and thoroughness. Once you do this, you're going to feel an immediate shift. The fog that's been clouding your judgment will lift. The fatigue that's been weighing you down will ease. The conflict in your relationships will begin to resolve naturally. Your body will start to heal from whatever symptoms you've been experiencing. You also need to cut this woman completely out of your life. No partial measures, no trying to keep the peace, no maintaining surface-level friendliness for the sake of your social circle. The Two of Swords showed us that this decision needs to be clear and complete. Block her on all platforms. Don't respond to any attempts she makes to contact you. If you share mutual friends, you don't need to announce what you're doing or make a big declaration. But you do need to remove yourself from situations where she'll be present. Protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because in a very real sense, your well-being does depend on it. The cards have also shown us that the truth of what she's been doing is about to come to light in undeniable ways. That Ace of Wands energy is building, and there's going to be a moment of revelation that makes everything crystal clear, not just to you, but potentially to others in your community as well. When that happens, don't feel like you need to defend yourself or prove anything to anyone. The truth will speak for itself, and the people who matter will see it clearly. As for this woman, she's facing serious karmic consequences. The universe keeps perfect accounts, and the Ace of Cups has shown us that everything she sent your way is coming back to her multiplied. You don't need to do anything to make this happen. You don't need to seek revenge or try to expose her or spend any energy on wanting her to suffer. The natural laws of energy return are already in motion, and she's going to experience exactly what she's earned through her actions. Your job is simply to protect yourself, heal, and move forward into the beautiful future that's waiting for you. And what a future it is, Taurus. The Queen of Pentacles in your outcome position is showing me that you're stepping into a level of personal power, abundance, and contentment that's going to make this entire ordeal seem like a distant memory. You're going to look back on this time and be amazed at how much you've grown, how much stronger you've become, how much clearer your vision is. The relationships that survive this cleansing are going to be deeper and more authentic than ever. The new relationships that come into your life are going to be with people who genuinely appreciate and respect you. Your ability to create the life you want is about to become stronger than it's ever been. I want you to do something for me right after you finish listening to this. Take a moment to really sit with what you've learned here. Don't dismiss your intuition if a particular object or situation comes to mind. Don't talk yourself out of what you know is true. The High Priestess awakened your inner knowing at the beginning of this reading, and she's asking you to trust that knowing now. Then, take action. Today, if possible, but definitely within the next day or two. Find that object and remove it. Cleanse your space thoroughly, getting into corners and closets, opening windows, letting light and fresh air into every room. As you do this, you can say something simple but powerful like this: I reclaim my space, my energy, and my life. All negative influences are removed and released. Only love, health, and positive energy are welcome here. I am protected, I am safe, I am whole. After you've cleansed your space, I want you to take a ritual bath or shower with the specific intention of washing away any energetic residue from this situation. You can add salt to your bath water if that appeals to you, or simply stand in the shower and visualize all the heavy, dark, sticky energy that's been clinging to you, washing down the drain, and being transmuted by the earth. See yourself surrounded by bright, protective light, maybe gold or white or whatever color feels right to you. Know that you are reclaiming your energetic sovereignty. In the days and weeks following these actions, pay attention to how you feel. You're going to notice improvements in your energy levels, in your mood, in your clarity of thought, in your relationships. You might sleep better. You might find that conflicts that seemed intractable suddenly resolve easily. You might notice that you feel lighter, like a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying has been lifted from your shoulders. These are all signs that the energetic attack has been neutralized and that you're returning to your natural state of balance and well-being. I also want to encourage you to strengthen your energetic protection going forward. You don't need to become paranoid or suspicious of everyone, but you do need to be more conscious of who you allow into your space and what energy you're accepting into your life. The High Priestess has gifted you with heightened intuition through this experience. Trust those gut feelings when someone doesn't feel quite right. Honor those moments when you feel uneasy around a person or in a situation, even if you can't logically explain why. Your body and spirit know things your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. You might want to establish some regular practices for maintaining your energetic hygiene. This could be as simple as a weekly space cleansing, a daily practice of visualizing yourself surrounded by protective light, or regular check-ins with your intuition where you ask yourself what energy you might be carrying that isn't yours and consciously release it. Find what works for you and make it a part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth or locking your door at night. These practices aren't about fear, they're about self-care and maintaining healthy, energetic boundaries. One more thing I want to address before we close this reading. Some of you might be feeling angry right now, and that's completely understandable and valid. Someone deliberately tried to harm you. That's a violation, and anger is a natural response to violation. But I want you to be careful not to let that anger consume you or become the focus of your energy moving forward. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Let it fuel your determination to protect yourself and set boundaries, but then release it. The reason I'm saying this is because prolonged anger toward this woman will actually keep you energetically connected to her. It will keep part of your attention and energy focused on her instead of on building your own beautiful life. The best revenge, as they say, is living well. And the Queen of Pentacles in your outcome position is showing me that your best life is waiting for you on the other side of this situation. Don't delay your arrival at that destination by staying stuck in anger towards someone who isn't worth another minute of your precious time and energy. You might also be feeling some sadness or grief, especially if this woman was someone you considered a friend or someone you had positive history with. It's painful to realize that someone you trusted or cared about has been working against you. Give yourself permission to grieve that loss if you need to. Grieve the friendship you thought you had. Grieve the innocence of not knowing that people can smile in your face while wishing you harm. Grieve whatever needs to be grieved. But then, let it go. The Six of Cups showed us that she's stuck in the past, stuck in old wounds, stuck in patterns that don't serve her. Don't join her there. You're moving forward, and that forward momentum is going to carry you to places she can't even imagine. For those of you who are in relationships, I want you to have an honest conversation with your partner in the next few days. You don't need to dump all of this information on them in a dramatic way, but you do need to let them know that you've realized there's been some negative energy affecting your relationship and that you've taken steps to clear it. Tell them you might need some extra patience and understanding as you work through the after effects of what's been happening. Most importantly, recommit to each other and to creating the relationship you both want, free from outside interference. If your partner has been aware of this woman, and maybe even friendly with her, you're going to need to set a clear boundary that she's no longer welcome in your shared space or life. You don't need to go into all the details of what she's done unless your partner asks, but you do need to be firm that this is non-negotiable for you. A good partner will respect your boundaries even if they don't understand all the reasons behind them. If your partner pushes back hard on this or tries to maintain a relationship with someone you've identified as harmful to you, that's actually giving you important information about your relationship that you need to pay attention to. For those of you who are single, get ready. Once that blocked energy clears, once you've removed the cursed object and cleansed your space, your romantic life is about to become much more interesting. The Queen of Pentacles energy is incredibly magnetic, and you're about to experience that magnetism at full power. Don't be surprised if you suddenly start getting more attention, more interest, more opportunities for connection. The key is going to be using your newly heightened intuition to discern who's genuinely good for you and who's not. You've just learned a valuable lesson about the importance of trusting your gut feelings about people. Apply that lesson to your romantic life going forward. I want to take a moment to talk about something that might seem unrelated, but actually isn't. In the coming weeks, you might find yourself becoming interested in deeper spiritual or metaphysical studies. The High Priestess has opened a door for you, and you might feel called to walk through it. Maybe you'll want to learn more about energy work, or tarot, or protection practices, or meditation, or any number of spiritual modalities. Follow that curiosity if it arises. This experience has awakened something in you, a deeper awareness of the unseen forces that shape our lives. And pursuing that awareness could become an important part of your path going forward. You might also find yourself wanting to help others who are going through similar situations. Once you've healed and moved past this, you're going to have wisdom and understanding that could be incredibly valuable to someone else dealing with energetic attacks or toxic people in their lives. Don't be surprised if people start coming to you for advice, or if you feel called to share your story in some way. The Queen of Pentacles in your future is telling me that you're going to use what you've learned here to nurture and support others, which is one of the highest expressions of this Queen's energy. Let me address something else that might be on your mind. Some of you might be wondering if you did something to deserve this, or if you somehow attracted this situation into your life. Let me be absolutely clear. You did not deserve to be targeted by someone's jealousy and malice. You did not do anything to earn being attacked energetically. The Five of Cups showed us that this woman's actions come from her own unhealed wounds and distorted perceptions. This is about her, not about you. However, and this is important, you can learn from this experience without blaming yourself for it. You can look at how this person got close enough to you to cause harm and use that information to strengthen your boundaries and discernment going forward. You can recognize that maybe you're someone who tends to give people the benefit of the doubt or tries to see the best in everyone, and while those are beautiful qualities, they need to be balanced with healthy skepticism and strong boundaries. You can grow and evolve from this without taking responsibility for someone else's choice to harm you. The Temperance card showed us that your natural state is one of balance, harmony, and health. What this woman did temporarily disrupted that natural state, but it didn't change who you fundamentally are. You are still that Queen of Pentacles, still that grounded, abundant, loving person. You're just going to be a more protected and discerning version of that person moving forward, and that's actually a positive development. I also want you to know that it's okay if you feel a little scared or paranoid for a while. Finding out that someone has been deliberately working against you, possibly using objects in your home to channel negative energy your way, that's unsettling to say the least. You might find yourself questioning other objects in your home or other people in your life. That's a normal response, and it will pass as you stabilize and as your sense of safety returns. Just don't let temporary hypervigilance turn into permanent paranoia. Most people are not out to get you. Most people are neutral or positive in their intentions toward you. This woman is an exception, not the rule. If you find that you're really struggling with anxiety or fear in the aftermath of these revelations, please don't hesitate to reach out for support. Talk to trusted friends, consider speaking with a therapist who's open to discussing energetic and spiritual matters, or connect with a spiritual practitioner or energy healer who can help you feel safe and protected. There's no shame in needing support after experiencing what is essentially a form of spiritual warfare. In fact, seeking help when you need it is a sign of strength and self-awareness, not weakness. Now, let's talk about the timeline for all of this. The Ace of Wands suggests that the major revelation or turning point is going to happen quickly, possibly within days or a couple of weeks at most. That's when everything is going to click into place and you're going to have that moment of absolute clarity about what's been happening and what you need to do. The improvements in your well-being after you remove the object and cleanse your space should be noticeable within a few days, with continued improvement over the following weeks. The karmic consequences for this woman that the Ace of Cups predicted could start manifesting immediately or could take a bit longer, but they're definitely coming. Sometimes karma works quickly, and sometimes it takes time to build, but it always arrives. You don't need to watch for it, or wait for it, or invest any energy in wanting to see it. Trust that the universe has it handled, and focus on your own healing and growth. The full embodiment of that Queen of Pentacles energy in your future, that's a process that will unfold over the coming months. You're going to notice steady improvement and elevation in all areas of your life as you move further away from this woman's influence and deeper into your own power. By this time next year, you're going to look back on this moment and be amazed at how far you've come and how different your life looks. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a few practical tips for identifying that cursed object. Close your eyes and think about this woman. Think about times you've interacted with her, things she's said, places you've been together. Now, keeping her in your mind, mentally walk through your home. What object do you feel drawn to examine? What item gives you a weird feeling when you think about it? That's likely your cursed object. Alternatively, you can physically walk through your home and pay attention to your body's responses. Do you feel suddenly cold or uneasy when you look at a particular item? Do you feel a heaviness or tension in your chest or stomach when you're near something? Your body is an excellent detector of negative energy, and it will tell you what needs to be removed if you're paying attention to its signals. Common items used to channel negative energy include jewelry, especially rings or necklaces that are worn close to the body, decorative objects that remain in the home permanently like statues or artwork, anything related to sleep like pillows or blankets, items kept in the bedroom where you're most vulnerable, photographs, and anything given as a gift with false pretenses. If this woman gave you something while pretending to care about you when she actually held negative intentions, that object is extremely suspect. Once you've identified the item, and I cannot stress this enough, do not overthink whether you're right. Trust your first instinct. If an object comes to mind or catches your attention during your search, that's the one. Remove it immediately. You can always cleanse your space in general as well, which will help with any residual energy, even if you can't identify one specific object. After removal and cleansing, I recommend doing something to seal your protection. This could be as simple as standing in the center of your home and declaring out loud, "This space is mine, blessed and protected, a sanctuary of love and light. No negative energy or harmful intention can enter here. I am safe, I am protected, I am sovereign." You can adapt those words to whatever feels right for you, but speaking your intention out loud while standing in your space is a powerful way to claim your territory and establish energetic boundaries. You know what's really beautiful about this whole situation, as painful as it's been? You're being given an opportunity that many people never get. You're being shown exactly who you can trust and who you can't. You're being taught how to protect yourself energetically. You're developing spiritual awareness and intuitive abilities that will serve you for the rest of your life. You're learning that you're stronger than you thought, that you can survive attacks and come out not just okay, but better than before. The Tower card didn't appear in this reading, but that's essentially what's happening. Your life is being shaken up. False foundations are being revealed. What you thought was solid is being shown to be otherwise, and as disorienting as that feels in the moment, it's actually the universe doing you a massive favor. Better to know the truth now than to continue building your life on false assumptions about who this woman is and what her role in your life has been. The Queen of Pentacles in your outcome is proof that everything the universe does, even the hard things, even the painful revelations, is ultimately in service of your highest good. You're being guided toward a life of greater authenticity, deeper relationships, better health, stronger boundaries, and more conscious awareness of the energy you allow in your space. That's a gift, even if it doesn't feel like one right this second. I want to close this reading by reminding you of something important. You have always been powerful. You have always been worthy of love, respect, and good treatment. You have always been capable of creating the life you want. This woman's attacks did not change any of that. They temporarily obscured it, temporarily made it harder for you to access your natural gifts and energy. But they did not and could not diminish who you truly are. The Queen of Pentacles is not something you have to become or achieve. She is who you already are. You're just clearing away the obstacles that have been preventing you from fully embodying and expressing that energy. Once those obstacles are removed, you're going to shine in ways that are going to surprise even you. Thank you so much for being here with me for this reading. I know this was heavy material, and I appreciate your trust in allowing me to deliver these messages to you. Please take care of yourself in the coming days and weeks. Be gentle with yourself as you process what you've learned and as you take the necessary steps to protect yourself and clear your space. Remember, you are not alone in this. The universe is on your side. Your guides and angels are protecting you, and the natural laws of karma are working in your favor. All you need to do is take the practical steps we've discussed, trust your intuition, and keep moving forward toward the beautiful future that's waiting for you. I'm sending you so much love and protection, Taurus. You've got this, and everything is going to be more than okay. It's going to be wonderful. Take care, and I'll see you in the next reading.